Today I have been challenged. I have been challenged to find the most interesting whiskey in the world. Oh really, the most interesting whiskey I have on my shelves. My buddy Nathan from Everyday Drinker was challenged by Kurt from SLB Drinks. So in turn, he challenged a few of us on YouTube. So challenge accepted. Let's get started. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways Plus Plus, and today I am the most interesting man in the world. No, I'm just joking. But he was the inspiration for this challenge. Kurt from SLB was thinking about that commercial when he came out with this challenge. So instead of being the most interesting man in the world, he wanted to know what are the most interesting whiskeys in the world. He chose a lot of great whiskeys, and not just bourbons. He chose a lot of whiskeys from everywhere, from bourbons to rye to from anything around the world. He did challenge Nathan, and Nathan also did it a little bit differently. He chose 3 bourbons and 3 ryes. Now, if you have not seen their videos, I will leave a link for each of theirs below. When Nathan threw out the challenge to me, I was so game.
Let's do this!
But as I started to think about it, I realized this is a lot harder than I first thought it would be. There's just so much goodness in the world and so much goodness on the shelves behind me. So instead of picking 3 bourbons and 3 ryes like Nathan did, because that's originally what I thought I was gonna do, I decided just to pick 6 of my most interesting whiskeys that I have available to me that are for my palate. Before I get into my list, I want to challenge a few of others out there. So let's start with that list. Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. He did a challenge on me recently, so I figured why not throw it back at you? Plus, I know you have a lot of good stuff on your shelves. I think you do really well. Latin Sip. Oh man, love the reviews. So many good bourbons and whiskeys that they always get to review. So they must have a nice collection of some fun, exciting, and different stuff. So I would like to see what they come up with. Bourbon Junkies. Man, have you seen all the stuff behind them and how it's always changing, how they always have such great reviews? Plus, they started their own distillery. There's got to be some interesting stuff with them there, so I'd be excited to see what they have. Bourbon Hall. Bourbon Hall, man. Your birthday was up, you picked up a lot of good bottles, you have a lot of, you even had the whole Happy's lineup. Come on, man. You got to have something good there too, so I want to see what you have. Whiskey Shaman. Now I'm putting you out there because I think you'll be one of the ones that actually doesn't just pick bourbons or ryes. You like malts, you like other things, so I'm very interested to see what you would choose. So that's why I'm choosing you, buddy. I also want to put this out there to the Whiskey Tube community. Anybody out there that would like to do this challenge, I want to challenge you. I don't want you to feel like you weren't challenged. So if you think you have a good list and you feel like you want to share it with us. I'd love to see it, and make sure to let me know. I want to go check out your video. So I'm challenging you out there. Hopefully y'all accept my challenge.
Challenge accepted.
I have a little pour here and some good stuff here, right? I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is one of my most interesting whiskeys that I have on my shelf. So as I go through these, I want you to guess, what do you think I have in my glass? If you know me, you'll guess pretty quickly on it. But right now, pause this video, go to the comments below and put in, what do you think I am drinking before you even see one of my picks? I want to see how many of you get this right. So let's get started. Take a little sip before we start. Some good stuff, some good stuff. Let's start off with something that I got this year. That's something that was new to me, something that a lot of people talk about. And when I got it, I was not disappointed. Willet Purple Top. Willet Purple Top is the first on my list. I'm not putting these in any particular order, but this is the first one that I thought about. I've heard so much about it. I did a challenge with this, with the Willet, 2 Willet Purple Tops, this one and the Weeded. If you have not seen that video, I will leave a link to it right here. Lots of good stuff with that. But this was such a good pour. I really enjoyed it. I need to drink more of it. Look, I haven't even touched it that much, but now that I have it out, it's actually one. So could this be what's in here? Who knows, right? We'll see. We'll see at the end what I have in here. Next on my list, I can't have a list without having a Joseph Magnus cigar blend. Why? Nancy Fraley. Anything Nancy Fraley does is just top notch, next level. I love all the Still Austin. I love the Magnus cigar blends. I've been finding these lately, been getting a few. I'm hunting a few out there. But the cigar blend is just an amazing blend, and I really do love them. So if you haven't picked up one of these, I think it's worth the $200 to $250 you're gonna pay for it. And I think it's just one that you go grab. Don't think about it, just grab it, because you might not see it the next time you go back. Next on my list is a Texas. I can't do this without having a Texas whiskey. And one of my favorite Texas whiskeys is Garrison Brothers This is the Cowboy Hazmat Edition. Great pour, really enjoy it. This one's a little controversial. A lot of people don't like Texas whiskeys. A lot of people have tried this and didn't think this was all that great. I really enjoyed it. This is my second bottle of this. My daughter HRH got this one for me, so thank you again. And I really enjoy it, and it's a great pour. So it's one of those that you can't drink too much of it. You have to be careful. It will sneak up on you. But it is a good pour, and I really do enjoy it. So this is one of my most interesting whiskeys for a hazmat. Lots of flavor, lots of complexity, lots of stuff goes through the mouth. So really a good one. And if you haven't tried it and you get a chance, try it. It's another $250 bottle, but I felt it was worth it, and I even have a second one. So there you go. Next on my list is going to be one that's my most expensive on here, or most expensive MSRP, I should say, right? Wild Turkey Generations. This one is $450, I think, or is it $5? Somewhere in there, right? Was it worth it? Was it worth that price? I now think so. I've had a good amount. I've shared a good amount of this. It is a good pour. It is very different. There's a lot of complexity to it, and it's just very interesting to me.
Very interesting.
One of those things that every time you taste it, you get some more flavor, some more evolution, and just a good pour. So I think this is one that, you know, is worth to try. If you get to have a pour of it, try it. Don't pass it up. I would say at a bar, $50, $50 to $70. I think even at $70 would be a good pour to try. So if you get to see that, try that out there. Next on my list is another hazmat. This is Old J&M Special Reserve. It's 143.68 proof, but it's finished in port barrels, and that seems to make a lot of difference. This does not drink at 143.68 proof. This is one of those that you have to be extra careful. It sneaks up on you. You can have a drink, you finish that pretty quickly, you pour yourself a second one, and when you try to get up from that one, you're going to feel it. So lots of flavor, lots of complexity, doesn't overheat. I mean, it is a hazmat, so the first drink is gonna kind of shock your tongue a little bit, but after that, it's so smooth and so good. It's one you have to be careful while drinking for sure. Unfortunately, this is kind of limited, but worth every penny of it. Last on my list is something I grabbed this year. It was #1 on my unicorn bucket list, and I was lucky enough to get this at MSRP. So at MSRP, it's not the most expensive. At secondary, it's the most expensive bottle I have up here. Pappy Van Winkle 15. Now, I've not had the 20, I've not had the 23, but I've had most of the BTEC, and this one does stand up to it.
Pretty good.
The only one that I think that might compete more with it for my palate is actually the George T. Stagg, and I think Nathan had that on his list. And I thought about putting that on mine, but this one is just one of those that's just dear to my heart, was hard to find, and just completed a unicorn find for me. So it also has that meaning to me, but it also is complex. It has a lot of flavors. It goes through a lot, and at MSRP, well, it is worth it. At secondary, I wouldn't pay that $1,500 for it, but I'm glad I didn't have to do that to have this one here on mine.
You have chosen wisely.
So there you go. These are the most interesting pours from around the world that I have on my bar. I'm sure there's a lot of other more interesting pours around the world that are outside of bourbon, and I just don't have them. I don't have that in my collection. So if you do, I'd like to hear about them. I'd like to try. My goal this year is to open my palate and try different things. So you may be helping me. So in the comments below, let me know what you think. Also in the comments below, have you figured out which one of these I poured in here today? Could it be Generations? Doesn't look like it was the cigar, but I do have more cigars, so it could possibly be. Could it be the Pappy 15, my ultimate unicorn? Was I being a Texas boy and drinking some Texas whiskey tonight and doing a hazmat? Was I drinking a little bit of Purple Top? We don't know, huh? We don't know. So if you want to find out, I'll let you know, but I'm going to let you know a little bit later, not tonight. I want to see in the comments what you think it was. So what do you think? What do you think of my list? What do you think of these as the most interesting whiskeys in the world, or at least to me and to my palate? I can't wait to see what you guys comment in the comments below with your thoughts and your choices. There's just so much goodness out there. It's hard to narrow it down to 6, but I can't wait to find out what my buddies that I challenge pick, because there's so much goodness out there, and I want to see what they're picking in their area and what they have available to them. Now, if you haven't, don't forget to click on that like button. Just go over there and click on it and make sure that, join. I don't want you to miss any of my upcoming videos, and especially my giveaways. Thank you, my friends, for joining me again on another journey down my whiskey rabbit hole. Thank you, SLB, for challenging Nathan. And in your honor, I'm drinking out of one of your glasses today. And thank you, Nathan, for thinking of me and challenging me. This was a fun challenge. I liked it. Fun, hard, but very interesting. Well, till my next journey, my friends, cheers and see you soon.